I thought it would be fun to go ahead and do a video on the new Sugarpill Capsule Collection palette that just came out a few days ago. I went ahead and I ordered it on the Sugarpill website, but it just looked like something a little bit unique and different to a lot of the things that are coming out right now. The palette comes in just a clear packaging that looks like that. On the back of the packaging, it does say there's a total of 14.5 grams or 0.5 ounces of product in here. And I also kind of found it interesting that it says C1 on the front. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to come out with a couple different ones kind of with this similar type of theme. I think that would be quite fun actually. On the back, it does say there is 1 blush, 4 metallics, and 5 matte eyeshadows. When I first ordered this, I kind of didn't know what to expect in terms of the packaging and kind of the feel of it. But now that I have it, which here is the packaging, it is a quite weighty, heavy-duty, thicker type of a plastic. I think that it's quite innovative. Like, we don't have anything similar to this out on the market. I think it's fun. So that's what really kind of piqued my interest. It's something, I feel like it's new and unique. For size comparison, I have the ABH Modern Renaissance palette because I feel like everybody's got this one. So to show you the size of the capsule there, it's actually kind of about the same size, maybe a little bit wider and a little bit, you know, it's got curved edges, but roughly the same size as an ABH Modern Renaissance palette. And I did do a demo, which is the look that's on my eyes right now, and that will be towards the end of the video if you're interested. But otherwise, here is the packaging right here. It's got a, you know, it's a hard plastic, but it feels substantial in my opinion. And then if you open it up, they did manage to get a mirror in there, and it's this top half right here. And then here are your shades. So I did go ahead and apply the blush shade, which is this one right here, and it's very pigmented. It's a matte blush. I think it would also make a really nice eyeshadow. So it's, you know, you can use it both ways. The matte eyeshadows are all the tiny ones. Those are all the matte, and then the mid-range size, which are these ones, are the shimmers. And then the largest pan is your blush, which I think that's quite neat. I just think it's, again, I think it's quite innovative. I dig it. When I first pulled this out of the box and swatched the shades, I was like, I kind of didn't know what to expect. But when I used them with a brush on the eyes, they really have a nice pigmentation to them. The mattes blended out super easy. Like when I did the look today, I used this deep purple in the crease and I blended out with kind of this pinker shade right here. And then I have a bit of this guy on the inner portion of the lid, and then this guy on the kind of center portion of the lid brought up higher above the crease. And they just look really pretty. It was super easy to do as well. Like when you first look at it, you're kind of like, what am I going to do with that? But the colors actually go together really well. Like you could put this blue in the crease and blend out with this green shade right here, kind of put the teal on the lid, and they just kind of work nicely together. And I think because of the layout, it's not the easiest to see that right away. I also feel like the color scheme is quite springy. I feel very springy today. When working with the shadows, they blended really well. They picked up nicely on a brush. I did have a little tiny bit of fallout, but it was nothing major. I did tap my brush off as well. But overall, I'm quite happy with the shades. So let me go ahead and zoom up close and give you guys some swatches, and then I'll show it next to the mini palette that they came out with a while ago that's all matte, so you can kind of see some color comparisons. So there's your blush, and then you got these two that are matte, these two, and this guy, and then these two are shimmer, and these two are shimmer. This color here is beautiful. Well, there's quite a few beautiful ones, but this one here, it's got such a pretty like shine to it. And then on the back, which is quite nice, you've got the names of all the shadows with the color on there as well, so you can see which color each one in the name. And other than that, there is no other printing other than the Sugarpill and the names on the back of the packaging. So let's start out with this blush. This is a very pigmented blush. Like I just had to tap my brush in there to get a little bit, and it was plenty for my cheeks. Now I'll go ahead and swatch the 4 shimmer shades. Yeah, I swatched this shiny shade because it looks so pretty, and I don't feel like it swatches on the hands as pretty as it looks on the lid. On there, camera, focus up. See, look at how that's such a, like a, got a little chunk in there. It's got such a pretty shift to it. So there are the shimmer shades. And then we'll swatch these matte shades. I blended out with this pink right here. Like, how unique is this color? It's like a periwinkle purple matte eyeshadow. I really get spring vibes from this palette. And then this last matte right here. So it's almost like a periwinkle royal blue color. But there are the swatches right there. And then here is next to the mini fun size palette that Sugarpill came out with, because I felt like this palette had kind of a little bit closer type of color scheme to the capsule. And there are some similar shades, but there aren't any dupes in here. And then the fun size palette is all matte, but I really think that these would pair really well too. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys and you're better able to determine whether or not this is something that you would like. I do feel like it's a quite springy palette. I didn't originally think spring until I got it, but quite springy. And then some of those pastel mattes, you know, pastel mattes are not the easiest to do, and those are some quite pigmented pastel-y type shades. So I was kind of impressed with that. Some of the textures are a little bit different than something that I'm kind of used to, but I do feel like they go on the eyes quite pretty compared to what they look like swatched. Now, if you're interested in seeing how I got the look that's on my eyes and a demonstration of these shadows, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. None of my face makeup is blended out just yet because I usually put my blush on first and then I buff everything out. So I'm going to take this Rephr 05 blush brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called Melody, because they're calling it a blush. So I'm just going to get a bit on there. It looks quite pigmented. And I'm going to, yeah, it's pretty pigmented. Just buff it in. Just a really pretty shade of pink. And then I'm going to go back over just the tops with my highlight brush. I didn't pick up any more product, but I really like to have this buffed and blended. Then I'm going to go over my whole face with the Guerlain Meteorites. I like to shake them up to kind of break the pearls up so I can get product on my brush easier. And this is a Beautylish Lunar New Year brush that I'm using for that. So I'm just going to take this powder and I'm just going to really buff it all over the skin. And then to prime my lids, I'm going to take this Fenty Beauty 180 concealer brush, and the Bare Minerals Stick Foundation is the Complexion Rescue in Opal 01. I'm just going to pick up some of this product right here and put it from the lash line to up underneath the brow. Then using a Smith 256 brush, I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called Dream State. I'm going to start putting that on the center of the lid because I just don't know how dark it's going to be. Tap off some excess. Oh gosh, that's a really pretty shade, hey. Okay. Just going to get a packet on the middle of the lid, and I'm going to bring it quite a ways up from my crease area because I have pretty hooded lids and it'll disappear otherwise. I'm going to bring it up quite high. I'm going to take that same Smith brush and turn it on its side, and I'm going to go into this shade right here called Supernova, and I'm going to put that in front right here. Just kind of brighten that up a bit. Oh. These are going on a lot more pigmented than I thought they would. I'm going to turn it back on its flat side and blend those together. Then I'm going to take a Chikuhodo GSN 9 brush and I'm going to go into the shade Undone, which is a dark kind of purple matte. I'm going to pick that guy up. And I'm going to shape this outer portion. I like to line it up with the corner of my eye and the tail of my brow. And I do this because it really hides kind of my hood and gives me an eye lift. A lot of people don't kind of see just how hooded my eyes are. Like that's how, like the crease point comes down to there. But like I could probably hide the majority of this brush in the crease. So that's kind of why I do that. I'm going to bring it over that lid, that outer portion of the lid, and then bring it up and over. I sometimes wonder what it would be like if I had a real nice like socket bone to work in. Oh. But I don't, but that's fine. So I'm just going to kind of place that in there. Take my Smith brush again, and I'm not going to pick up any more product. We'll just go like that. I do have a little bit of fallout, so I'm going to take the powder brush I used for the Guerlain Meteorites and just brush that off. Then using a Sonia G mini booster brush, I'm going to go into the shade Glory, which is this guy down here. I'm going to start kind of blending out that purple. Then I'll go back in with the Chikuhodo brush and just kind of buff in here to make sure that's blended nicely. Those blended together super nice. Super easy too. I was going to take Supernovae and put it underneath the brow, but it's pretty purple, so I kind of want to ground it a little bit. And I'm going to take Wet n Wild's Brulee, which is a matte cream shadow, and I'm going to put that under the brow instead. And this is a Esum G29 brush that I'm using. I'm just going to really get this nice and blended there. I'm going to take a Chikuhodo GSN 10 brush and go into a little bit more of that Glory shade. It's a kind of a fluffy blender brush, and just get a little bit on there and feather that through here. I'm going to go back in with that Smith brush and the Dream State shade right there and just kind of intensify that just a bit. That color is so pretty. I'm glad it's in like one of the larger pans. That was like super effortless. I'm going to take this little Sonia G and just blend this just a little bit. And there's the eyeshadow done. You are getting a little bit of glare from my lights, and since my hood kind of projects outwards, it shifts funny in the light. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eye makeup, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. For lips, I've got the Lancome Le Lip Liner in the shade 326 Natural Mauve. I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips and kind of fade it inwards a bit. And then to fill them in, I've got the Dior Added Lacquer Stick in 202 Stargirl, which I just think this is going to be perfect for with the eyes. It's like a duochrome pink, blue, purple shift. This Stargirl color is so stunning. I feel like a fairy. And that is the overall finished look using the new Sugarpill Capsule Collection palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.